I don't know if Gorey's audience and mine are the same audience. I think they have a huge overlap, and I think both of us have the same phenomenon, which is, in my case, it's Neil Gaiman, who's he? Or Neil Gaiman, oh my God, he's my favorite writer. And not a lot of distance between the two. And I think the same thing goes with Gorey. It's either Edward Gorey, never heard of him, who's he, what did he do, or really? Or it's, oh my God, Edward Gorey, I love it. And people will start telling you about, curious sofas and such. And so for me, I think the weird joy of Gorey was he didn't ever change who he was or what he did to suit the marketplace. What he did was what he was, and what he was what he did, and which isn't to say that he couldn't, design you a poster for your cat show that would have been a fantastic, beautiful commercial poster for a cat show. It wasn't that he only did one thing and did not do anything but that one thing. He did lots of things, but all of those things, you could see they were coming from a unique point of view. They were coming from a point of view that was absolutely and utterly personal. And also you could tell at a glance that the person doing them didn't mind if you liked them or not.
He seemed to be someone that was completely unchanged by his success. I mean, when he died, it was sort of discovered that he had all this money. And he did these grassroots plays, in a leaky garage. You never really you figure he had to have money, but he didn't want to, you talked about in one of your interviews about how, you send out all these bottles and then you hope a few of them come back when you're freelancing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he had that experience early on. I mean, he was not a success early on. He was still pretty young when he did have success, but he and then everything he did, all the bottles came back and it was overwhelming. And he seemed to have no problem having a filter there where he could get a call from a fan and say, yes, let's go out to lunch, and go out to lunch with some unknown fan. And at the same time, his editor couldn't get a hold of him for 3 weeks. Like, he did what he wanted. And he still wanted to have a relationship with people and be a human being and be able to choose. But he wanted to choose, and I don't think the success changed any of that. He didn't have any problem with saying yes too much, or, he would sometimes do. I'm just hoping this is going to prompt the next question. But
well, what I was going to say is, in my experience, there's two different kinds of success. You're never too successful. You're never too financially successful at once. You're never too popular at once. Your fame, your financial success, your popularity increases, but it increases at a rate that means that when you look around and you are 50, you are the same person you were when you were struggling at 23. And I always got the feeling with Gorey that because he never did that one thing that threw him into the popular world, that gave him sudden amazing success. That actually meant that he carried on being himself from the beginning all the way through. All the stories one reads about of Gorey's life, there is a glorious consistency to who he was.